As someone that grew up in the early 2000s, I remember I was on Instagram basically right when it came out. When I first started using it, it was a really cool app. People were posting a bunch of things like for TBH, keep calm and carry on, and a bunch of unedited, low quality cringe pictures. At the time, Instagram was something that was like super genuine and it felt very personalized. It was a good network for me to kind of keep in touch with my friends. When I got home from school, I'd hop on my iPod, hop on Instagram, see everyone post selfies and pictures with their friends and stuff. And they basically posted things that actually portrayed their real life. And this is basically when Instagram was in its prime. I miss the old Instagram. People back then didn't have this weird pressure to post or not post certain things. They simply just posted to their small network of friends and family without, thinking about the repercussions. And back then there was no like complicated algorithm. You could see all the posts on your feed chronologically, and it was actually like a good way to keep in touch with friends. The posts you would see were only from people that you followed, and you could even like press a little button and see what posts your friends were liking and stuff. And then they went ahead and copied Snapchat and added Instagram stories, basically pictures that last for 24 hours. And this is kind of around the time I noticed people started to normalize flexing on Instagram. And this is around the time where like people would they'd make their accounts public to try to get more followers, and all of a sudden every single, blonde girl at school had 1,000 followers and thought they were famous. This was around that time. And then eventually, slowly after, I remember all these OG Instagram pages I used to follow, like Complex or House of Highlights, and all these different like sports channels. They started posting random stuff that had nothing to do with sports. And it was really weird. And then next thing you know, Instagram goes ahead and they copy TikTok and they add Instagram Reels, I think, around COVID maybe, which is basically just a worse version of TikTok. I remember when it first came out, I never really used it at all. It was kind of annoying, honestly, just having it there. But eventually, as I started leaning off TikTok, I kind of naturally started watching more Instagram Reels, and I felt like so did the whole world, honestly. But I noticed that the algorithm of Instagram Reels became so good so quick. It was much more addicting than TikTok because literally, even if I go on Instagram Reels right now, every single video, I shit you not, feels like it's like specifically targeted towards things that I subconsciously want to see, even if I don't think I want to see it, if that makes sense. So I'm scrolling on Instagram Reels and every single one is like the funniest dark humor shit. It's like crazy shit of people dying or like racist shit that's just funny as fuck that like I would find funny. And every single one is just a hit. It's not like none of them are really that bad. They're all like catered towards me, which is crazy. And this is around the time when it kind of became normal for your friends to spam you with a bunch of Instagram Reels of funny shit. But it honestly just became too much. The algorithm was like too good and too smart. And there were just naked girls, OnlyFans girls with big ass and big tits everywhere. They were all over my Explore page. And eventually, Instagram started showing posts on your feed from people that you don't even follow. Like, Instagram, honestly, it's no longer for the people. It's honestly just made for marketing teams and advertisers to get paid. And all of a sudden, nowadays, going to 2025, it's become normalized for news pages that are supposed to give out, like, news and shit. Like CNN, House of Highlights, Complex, whatever, to post random shit. Like, for example, I went on Instagram the other day and I saw Complex. They posted some headline thing about Sydney Sweeney selling her bathwater, and then they post like bikini pics of Kim Kardashian and shit. Like, what does that have to do with news? It just makes no sense. They just do it for the clicks and for the engagement. Like, the Instagram we have today is simply just for marketing and for gooning. There's no in between. And it's honestly sad as fuck that like the kids of this generation have to grow up with this because, they're just like screwing their subconscious mind by looking at this all day. Like, Instagram used to be so wholesome and genuinely like a fun app, but now it's so like mathematical and corporate and forced. Their algorithm is like so good that it almost seems illegal. And I'll be like, sometimes I'll even be talking with my friends, we're talking on the phone about something, and then all of a sudden I see an ad for it on my Instagram. And this is kind of like ultimately why I made the decision to just delete it from my phone. But I'm not gonna lie, every once in a while I'll re-download it to maybe like you know, comment on my girlfriend's post or something, or repost something, or look through my DMs of my friends sending me reels, just because I feel like I'm missing out if I don't at least check up on it every once in a while. And that's how you know that it's like bad for you. When you have that feeling that like you need it at least every once in a while, that's how you know it's bad. And it's kind of sad that something so like negative as Instagram has become so normalized. And kind of looking back from where Instagram started to where it is today, I feel like they strayed so far from their original goal of connecting people. And now I feel like it's just disconnecting people, if anything. But that's why I recommend for you guys watching this video, you know, if you struggle with some of the same things that I do, then you should go ahead and at the very least just delete it from your phone. You might still go on it every once in a while. Like I personally, sometimes I'll go on the browser on my laptop if I'm really like wanting to catch up or whatever. But at least deleting it from your phone makes a big enough difference to where I feel like I'm not suffering as many as like the negative effects or like the dopamine, you know, hits from Instagram as if it were on my phone.